Hi, my name is Margaret Cameron. I'm the president of the Royal Canadian Legion Branch 239 in Bobcaygeon, and I'm very proud to represent the Legion. We are celebrating our 90th anniversary this year, and this is a historical event for us because it means our longevity and our success, and we're still here. We're serving veterans. We're helping veterans out in any way that we can, our community and our members. So we are very, very good at what we do, and we are very proud of what we do. So this weekend we've planned 3-day events. We started off with our high tea on Friday, and it was very well attended, and the hall looked great, so it really showed off our high tea. And then on Saturday night we had the 18-piece big band come in, and they played phenomenal music. Everybody was up dancing. A roast beef dinner. It looked phenomenal, so we had a great time. And now we're ending it today with an open house. We have a memorial display up in the hall. We're having an official ceremony at 2 o'clock, and our service officer, Bob Fenton, is going to do a history of our branch, and we have dignitaries coming. We have Jamie Schmale and Laurie Scott and Pat Warren. So it's a really special time for us, and we're going to sit back and relax. The community can come in. It's barbecue. So today we had like a mini parade. It started down at the cenotaph, where of course it's a very special place for us, and we laid a wreath there, and then we came down Bolton. We had pipers, and we had a band, and local organizations joined us in there. We had a float, and we had a few of our veterans in convertibles. So it was a mini parade coming back to the Legion, and then stopping here, and then in the afternoon now we'll have the other activities and things that we've planned. Good afternoon. Welcome. Today we're celebrating the 90th anniversary of our Royal Canadian Legion Branch 239. I am so privileged to be here today as the president of this great organization. We have a phenomenal history. We understand the importance of honoring the past sacrifices and acknowledging the courage of those who served and are still serving today. Our veterans are our mission and the heart and the soul of the Legion. It has been a long road to get us where we are today, and it wouldn't have been possible without the generosity of our members, our community, and the challenging hard work and dedication of many of our volunteers. Everyone here today has supported the Legion in one way or another, and we thank you all. It's time today to celebrate all of our accomplishments and to prepare for the next 90 years. Now I'm going to ask a very special guest. We have with us today our speechwriter in our youth and education program for our honors, or for our posters and essays, and she's going to tell you what it all meant to her. So please come forward, Brooklyn House.
Hi and good afternoon to everyone who's been able to make it out to this very special day. This day marks the 90th anniversary of the Bobcaygeon Legion Branch 239. That's almost a century. I'd like to start by appreciating all the Royal Canadian Legion members who have done part in making this just such an amazing space to be in. The work and commitment that's put into not only the Legion itself, but into one of the main goals of giving kids confidence and helping them build paths to their futures. For myself, I can say I've had quite a fairly successful journey. For the last 5 years, I've taken interest in public speaking, and through opportunities given to me and through my school, I've been able to be rewarded for my efforts. Through this year and last, I was lucky enough to be selected to move on from the gym and represent my school in the Bobcaygeon Legion. This year, through hard work, I was able to make it to the Legion again, but this time move on to even farther. This year, I moved to the Omemee Legion, then to Wellington, and lo and behold, I moved on again. At this point, I was traveling all around Ontario, this time to my final destination, Marmora. But I wasn't alone at all in this journey. My friends, family, and the Bobcaygeon Royal Canadian Legion members followed behind me and cheered me on through the whole time, making sure to support me, win or lose. Through the path of public speaking, I'm now recognized throughout my school. I've been asked to MC many school events, and most importantly, I've been able to speak as the valedictorian of my graduating class of 2024. I would like to again thank all the Legions who sponsored and supported me, and an even greater thanks to the Bobcaygeon Legion for inviting me here today to share my story. Thank you and happy 90th.
I'm now going to ask our service officer, Bob Fenton, to come forward and talk about the history of our Legion.
Thank you. Wonderful job, Brooklyn. I'd like to begin by thanking the person who created the program and had me follow her. Veterans, distinguished guests, Legion members, members of our community, and young adults who are here. Our Legion's roots can be traced to 1918. The war to end all wars just ended. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Too many people were killed, injured, or never found. There was serious sadness in the country. 66,000 lives lost, 177,000 wounded between Canada and Newfoundland. But this was also a time of great joy. The troops came home, nurses and doctors and sawyers and horse handlers, road builders, and too many contributors to mention. They all returned to a grateful nation. Oh, there were parades and fetes and garden parties and ceremonies. The governor of the day promised to look after them, but as the years went by, veterans became less and less of a priority as new challenges arose and new commitments took priority. Andy Anderson, Alfred Nichols, and Dr. Scott saw this happen And so they began to attend an organization called the Great War Veterans Association, starting in 1922. Meetings varied between the town hall and the upstairs of Cecil Poe's garage on Bolton Street. Because of their networking, they could find needed jobs for vets. They also wanted to find a place where vets could feel fellowship and share their military experience. Our family has 2 soldiers laid to rest at Vimy Ridge over 100 years ago. They were local boys from the Argyle-Woodville area, and our son Michael, a serving major, has a job that sends him around the world, and so he told us one time he was going to visit Belgium, Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe. And I told him about his great-great-uncles and asked him if he'd visit those graves. You know, I thought he might say, "Come on, Dad, it was 100 years ago." Or that his schedule might be too busy. "I'm over there working, you know." He immediately looked me right in the eye and said, "I will find those graves. I will visit them. There will be whiskey involved." And that's how veterans feel about one another, especially those veterans who have seen combat. They're special to one another, and they needed a place like this. So on June 30th, 1932, some prominent veterans applied for and received the Canadian Legion Charter 239 of the British Empire Service League. They didn't hold regular meetings until 1949. That was when they got a big break. The big break was, unfortunately for the church, a church in Verulam was closing, and they offered the church to the Legion. The men got together and they deconstructed the church. They saved the windows, doors, joists, planks, hardware, anything they could salvage, and moved it to this location. The Boyd family graciously donated the land now known as 95 King Street East. They built the first building that summer, and there exists a picture of the old Legion, the original Legion, and it's in the front hallway there. World War I veteran John Grant supervised a crew of 15 men. After the first winter, they installed a box stove, and so it became Bobcaygeon's first hot stove league, and meetings could be held all year round. So the first president was elected in 1950, Mr. Nigel Pilcher. He was an Englishman reputed to have gone to school with King George VI. Secretary was a man named Lloyd Beating, an Air Force vet, and the first treasurer was Army vet Jack Kennedy. Now in 1952, a local boy from Lindsay, the Premier of Ontario, Leslie Frost, he opened the Canadian Legion of British Empire Service Branch 239. Now a crowd of 50 people were invited. Just as you'd expect, the old-timers didn't have a mortgage until 1965. They borrowed the princely sum of $12,500 to build the new addition. Sheila Boyd was approached, and once again the Boyd family came through and donated more land for the construction. On October 8, 1973, the name of the Canadian Legion was changed by the Queen, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, to the Royal Canadian Legion, 1973. So in all, we've had 3 charters in our history. So the branch grew. It began to accept new members, provided income from membership, but in those days, any new application had to be approved by a committee of ordinary members. Now, ordinary members are veterans. In 1973, things opened up. Dominion Command created associate members, allowing sons, daughters, and wives of veterans the chance to join. And the cenotaph, where we have traditionally held our Remembrance Day ceremonies, was built in 1933, but that's a story for another day. By 1982, there was good news. We needed to expand again. As always, the Boyd family was there to help and support and give us more land so we could have a proper parking lot. Tenders were offered, and on July 22, 1985, construction manager Ian Faulkner was hired and used local tradesmen to complete all the work. The branch obtained a mortgage for $115,000, and combined with the $83,000 of the branch's own money, the project began on October 19, 1985. The addition is what you see now as the present club room. The building was now 7,000 square feet. The grand opening was held on Canada Day in 1985. A drumhead ceremony was held by the Locks, and they paraded back to the Legion for a barbecue steak dinner. That was followed by a fireworks display, and by all accounts, it was a wonderful day. By '89, renovations were completed in the kitchen, the front entrance, upstairs washrooms, more storage space created, and an office for the service officer was established. Well, over the ensuing years, many upgrades occurred. The upstairs hall and bar were improved. Our building became handicapped acceptable. Wheelchair accessible doors with electronic openers have been provided. More recent kitchen renovations featuring new cupboards, flooring, and appliances. Now, our parking lot was paved in asphalt in 2 installments because of the high cost. And it was all raised from member donations. Margaret was a big spearhead of that project, but it made a big improvement if you remember our old parking lot. We obtained a grant from the Community Chest Fund to build this beautiful deck which you see before you. It has become a focal point for entertainment. Barbecues, of course, and veteran stories. So if those vets from 1918 could be here today, I'm sure they'd be proud. Their building is still here. In fact, it's better than ever. But the work of the Legion is still thriving. We remain an important community hub. There are dart leagues and euchre and pool and bingo. There's been Boy Scouts, a drum and bugle corps, minor hockey teams, a nursery school, and cadets. And when I sit in meetings every month and listen to the donations which are made to hospitals, walk-in clinics, the local food bank, summer camps, and so many other local community organizations, I am very proud. The Legion is one of the few organizations that raises money and then gives it all away in the name of service. All these good deeds are the work of every member. Their hard work and dedication make the Legion what it is today. And as I think about that, I recall the words of Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae from In Flanders Fields. And he said in part, "The torch be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not rest, although we lie in Flanders Fields." As service officer, I can tell you that our veterans are well looked after. Succeeding generations of Legion members have caught that torch and held it high and carried on that fire. Our members continue to raise money for the Poppy Fund each year, some braving the cold and harsh late fall weather to do so. And the money is well used, and the money is well appreciated by veterans. So the work started after the First World War continues. That's 90 years of our community working to support our vets. May God bless our veterans. May God bless the souls of those who paid the ultimate price. May God bless those who support them. May God bless our community. May God bless Branch 239 of the Royal Canadian Legion. And may God bless our children who will be vets one day themselves. May God bless Canada.
I want to introduce you to our district commander, Greg Cobold. And Greg has been helping veterans with the Royal Canadian Legion Poppy campaign and working to break the isolation of retired military personnel for 36 years. He was presented by the Lieutenant Governor of Ontario with the Sovereign's Medal for Volunteers. He is our district commander, and we thank him very much for being here today.
Thank you, Mark, for that invitation. I bring you greetings on behalf of the other 52 branches in the district and the members of District Council. And I was also with the provincial president last weekend at the Track and Field for Ontario Command in Toronto last weekend, and he offered his congratulations as well on your 90th anniversary of the founding of your Legion and your charter. But we've seen the last 3 years now an increase in membership starting to grow year over year. So hopefully that's an indication that people are interested in this organization, will help it continue to grow. I heard Padre Bill make a quick reference about the military, and I was joking with him earlier how I ended up in Brighton, Ontario, and it was because my dad was a World War II veteran. But he was a Navy veteran, but he ended up posted at CFB Trenton. And of course, if you've been around the military, you'll know that they're military brats, but the Navy are wharf rats. So I was a wharf rat. And I used to get teased a lot because I was living on an air base by the military brats, and they always said to me, "Boy, your dad must have done something real bad to be posted on an Air Force base as a Navy guy." And I somehow, after years, believe that maybe he did something bad. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here with you today to, again, help you celebrate your 90th anniversary. Congratulations. And Brooklyn, I was there in Marmara when you gave your speech, and it was awesome. And congratulations on your winning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks. With a strong background in radio journalism and federal politics, Jamie has had the honor of representing Haliburton, Kawartha Lakes, Brock, and in Ottawa since 2015. He was raised in Bobcaygeon, but he now calls Lindsay his home. He's a professional, a father, a volunteer. He's actively involved in a number of local charities and non-for-profits. He's also the Vice President Standing Committee on Indigenous and Northern Affairs. Jamie has supported this branch in many, many ways over the years, and it is really, I thank him very much for coming today. Thank you, Jamie, and you say a few words.
Thank you very much, Madam President, for that wonderful introduction. I see Google is alive and well. I do appreciate the... Well, I had to bring that up because my speech was after Brooklyn and Bob's and our district commanders, so I feel very inadequate here to follow those fine people, especially that look back at history. I learned a few things as well about Bobcaygeon and how the Legion got to where it is today, and I appreciated that. And of course, Brooklyn, I think you have a long and bright future ahead of you, and I wish you lots of luck, and hopefully I'll get to hear more of your speeches along the way. I want to thank all the volunteers throughout the years. It's been 90 of them, where there was this recognition and acknowledgement that those veterans, whether they served in conflict or in peacetime, at home or abroad, had a place to come to for camaraderie and fellowship, and the fact that this Legion has been a pillar in the community, as was mentioned, offering many services for veterans and alike and associates to come and be a part of the community, and thank the Legion for their support of the community in the various ways through charitable acts and otherwise. It is truly remarkable, and to thank the president, her executive, the color guard, all the volunteers, everyone here today who played a role in the last few years making this Legion come alive. And I understand the new club room has been finished, and I look forward to seeing that as well. So thank you everyone for being here, and thank you so much for your love of country and love of our veterans who serve so bravely. Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie. That was wonderful. Next, we have Laurie Scott, who is our member of a provincial parliament. Laurie was inspired to enter public service by her late father, Bill Scott, who was a federal progressive conservative MP from 1965 to 1993. She attended the Loyalist College in Belleville, where she obtained a degree in nursing. So Laurie and I have a background. We've both registered nurses. She worked as a registered nurse at the Ross Memorial Hospital and the Toronto General Hospital. She has been elected to represent Central Ontario riding of Haliburton, Kawartha Lakes, and Brock 5 times since 2003. We welcome Laurie. We thank her for her support to our Legion in the past and in the future, and thank you for coming.
Thanks, Marg. Thank you, President Marg. I really appreciate it. It's an honor for me to be able to come to thank the Legion, thank its members, thank the veterans that are here today. The history lesson was amazing. I have to tell you, I hope it's on tape somewhere. It is, related to Brooklyn and her speech. I spoke at many contests at the Legion also, Brooklyn. I was very nervous before that too. So good luck. You're doing wonderful. And it's great that the Legion engages the youth. I know we have our cadets over here in the corner too, to keep the traditions going. You've heard many, many things that have been told of what the Legion has done locally, and it is true. The Legions are our community base, but they don't run unless we have all the people involved. So I cannot thank you enough for what you do. Keep the Legions going. 90 years is young. We'll do some more Legion work. I know my grandfather Scott fought in World War I. and many battles, and we have a proud history in our family of that, and the Kinmount Legion at the top of the hill where we live. But as Member of Provincial Parliament, I just want to extend my congratulations on your 90th anniversary for Bobcaygeon Legion Branch 239, the accomplishments that have gone on and the accomplishments that continue to go on, and say it's really hot and I don't want the accomplishment of someone fading to be one of them.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you. And next I'd like to introduce our Ward 2 Councillor of Kawartha Lakes, with local roots going back 5 generations in Kawartha Lakes in Victoria County. We welcome Pat Warren and thank her for attending our celebration.
Thanks, Marg. That was a nice introduction. Yeah, both my uncle and my father served in the Second World War, so this is really heartening to be here. So it's my pleasure to be with you today to celebrate 90 years of the Bobcaygeon Legion, serving our veterans, but also our community. You do so much for our community. Marg, Cameron, and her board and volunteers make Bobcaygeon shine. Last evening was so much fun, and hats off to everyone who came together and made the wonderful event with a 18-piece orchestra. It was just something to behold, and it was so enjoyable. So my predecessors here have said everything about the Legion and veterans. I just want to thank everybody, and on behalf of the Mayor and Council, I want to present the Legion with this certificate. Mark. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pat. Thank you. Great job out here. Thank you. Oh, wasn't that nice? Retrieve colors.
Branch 239 color party. Carry colors.
We're going to ask our chaplain to return and do the closing prayer.
And on that note, let's have our closing prayer. This is a blessing, an Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. May God be with you and bless you. May you see your children's children. May you be poor in misfortune and rich in blessings. May you know nothing but happiness from this day forward. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the warm days of sun fall upon your home, and may the hand of a friend always be near. May green be the grass you walk on. May blue be the skies above you. May pure be the joys that surround you, and may true be the hearts that love you. Amen.
Color party. Fly colors. Branch 239 color party. Eight to the right file. Right. Turn. Line the front. Quick. March.
Anybody can join the Legion. You don't have to be a member, or you don't have to have a military background. You can just walk in, check us out, and maybe join. I really appreciate Rogers coming today, because we need to get the word out there that we're doing really well, but we always need help. I mean, think about it, 90 years, it's remarkable, and we're still here, and we're still doing what they did 90 years ago.